Hi there, and welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is number 3 of a continuing of a series of my cups, Manna From Heaven, graphic design, all the same. And we talked about that. What's the whole idea? That's the whole idea. But this one is all about color concepts. What are we gonna do? And the color combination. Well, this one's pretty obvious, isn't it? Gold, black, white, making a little bit of gray, keeping it really simple, but the same subject, but as you can see, how many different ways can I do a cup getting Manna from Heaven? Showing it every different way. And the thing that's consistent is the color and the size. Keeping them all the same, 10 inches by 10 inches. You know, I like to do it with paper and make my own paper, graphic design. Sometimes I like to, on the street, find cardboard boxes, and I know you like to do it too, because the fun about that is what's inside the cardboard box. Let me show you how I do it here in my studio. So this part is all about texture. The textures that I happen to like. This is the cheesecloth texture. You know, just glued down with the gel medium. And then I like to also paint with thick paint so I can scrape it with my fingernails. But this one specifically is about cardboard, getting the texture that's inside the cardboard. You peel it off the cardboard, and inside you're gonna find these little flutes. And here is what we are going to be working on right now. And here are some, I've already peeled them off. It's real simple, you know, you just take cardboard boxes, specifically the ones that come from overseas, and you can wet the box, or sometimes on a really dry day, and peel this back. And when you peel it back, voila, look at this. Ah, cool. And you get all this texture. And you know us collage artists, we just love all this crazy stuff. And this is how it's on both sides. Oh, I'm going to keep that because that's kind of nice when I go to put it in here. So here is the continuing of this series of a bowl and bringing in Manna from Heaven. I've got a whole lot of these ready to go. Here's some of my excess. I might use some of that. Of course I'm going to use it. We're going to use anything we can find. I'm going to cut this into the shape of something like a bowl. Yeah. This is about the only time I actually use scissors to get the actual shape. I usually tear this stuff. I want to make it, not make it so big. Sometimes I don't want to have this like in your face and, you know, have it all over the place. I like this. I like the angle of it too. This is my gel medium. This is my glue brush. Lots of glue. Lots of glue. Yeah. See how thick this glue is? This is gel medium. It's beautiful. And it's just to be really sure, why not put some on here? I usually just stick it right on, but since this is 3-dimensional, there we go. Here we go. And neatness. Oh, it's right in the middle. I don't want to do that. There we go. Let's get some over there. Off balance. That's the composition. This will be cool. Off balance. So now it's really in there. Now I like to put a lot on the top, really pushing it in. This isn't concerned about air bubbles. It's more about pushing it in there. This is a good time to use these catalysts. Really pushing it in there. Squeezing out the excess out of those flutes. And at the same time, I'm wiping it off, the excess off of that. Now that is on there. And we'll let that dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'll come back and show you what I do now with the paint part. All right, we'll let it dry, and now I get to paint on all this stuff and continuing making them all different. That's the whole idea. Let's see how far it can go. All right, I'll see you in a minute. It's painting time. Here we go. So I'm going to work on all three of them at the same time. I really highly recommend doing that in a series. It keeps you fresh. It keeps you from lingering too long on one piece, kind of a thing. You know, you have a sense of urgency. So, all right, keeping in touch with what we're working on is the bowls and this collecting something from heaven. In this case, it's Manna from Heaven. I'm using golds, and the gold I'm using is over here, you'll see the Holbein gold. I'm going to squeeze some of it out right in here. And here's the big, nice surprise. Oh, it's such a great gold, like a pearlescent gold. They also have gesso. Isn't that cool? A gold, and it's silver. And isn't that incredible? So that's going to help me in my gray. So I'm only going to be working on the color combination of gold, black, white, and gray, of course. Here we go. So I've already done my collage work. Let's get into big buckets of water next to me. And I'm going to start working on a powerful, let's get into the black right off the bat. I'm going to start just playing with oh, that's cool. Texture, taking advantage of those high ridges so it doesn't look exactly what I did, which is taking a cardboard box. All right, now that I'm starting off way too loose, too tight. I'm going to loosen it all up. Get some paint on this whole thing. Let's get some paint going in here. Oh, I like the graphics. I like the soft, and I like the hard. That's nice. Ooh, nice. Now let's get some white in here. White. No, I'm going to go right for the gold. Right for the silver. That's what we're doing. Oh, yeah. Loose. Each one is different. The theme is the same. That's why you want to continue on. And stay committed to the whole idea. Because I know in your creativity, you know there's more than one way of doing it how you see it. So, scraping and scratching. Kind of goes along with the lines here, doesn't it? Well, I think I'll put some of this silver on top. Of course I will. It's nice. Let's add some gold in there too. Let's mix. Oh, the gold's better. More contrast. I like mixing it. That's nice. Looks more antique. More ancient. Remember, these are kind of my idea of what would be found in King Tut's tomb, you know, all these gold plaques with writing on them. And coffee beans, of course. They still found coffee beans and fresh because they weren't cooked. Okay, let's see. And then one place too. Let's keep going over here. Let's get a gray. Mixing the black with my, it's a mid-tone. I'm going to keep the gold intact. Maybe just the edges as an individual plaque. And wiping all that in. Yeah. All right. And just wiping, softening the edges. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And it looks like it was whatever happened here happened also over there. I like that. And blur it out in areas. Yeah, this becomes more important because I'm softening this in here, making it less important, making it darker too. Nice balance in here. Boy, whatever was in here, it's popping. And I think I'll put some up in here too. make it a mystery. It is a mystery. Well, a little more involved. Yeah, I like this better. More bits and pieces. Nice. All done with a paper towel. I like it when they're masked. What size brush did you use? A number 2? There you go. Boy, that little accident that happened earlier, tearing the paper, see how that instigated or influenced my next pieces. All right. I'm going to come back in here. Too much. I liked it when it was really black, but I'm going to keep some of that in there. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep that here. Oh, it looks gummy now. Oh, completely a different effect. Like it's gummy, like syrup, rolling down the hills here. Ooh, it's really turning into not so much divided. It was very much of a divided painting before, you know, black on the top and all this fun stuff in the bottom. Now I'm bringing it back together again. We're holding it together. There we go. Oh, what's going on over here? Oh, geez, look at that. It looks so instant. I'm going to keep it just like that. And, you know, I can just keep on going. Oh, I want to get some gold over here. Make these not so heavy negative shape painting in here. Using the gold. Well, all kinds of colors are on my brush. I like that. You don't know what to expect. Well, that's one of the best parts about painting. If you knew what it was going to end up looking like, why do it? What you need to have in painting is curiosity, and you really want to be able to do it. Not think about it. You really want to do it. Okay, I'm going to stop at this point. Well, that completes this part of the series, but I will continue this on until I basically run out of ideas, you know, and I like the concept of, you know, bringing food down, feeding the world hunger all over the world. And that was the whole idea, right? And the whole simple idea, silly idea, more of a dream. I like to dream while I'm still awake, not wait to sleep, right? But do it in the studio, get into your studio, dream while you're still awake, have an idea, do the 5 C's, one subject, make sure you love that subject, whatever it is, or something simple that you see every day. Thank you so much for watching us during this series, and I'll see you at the next BobBlast.